So this is the first afternoon. We got to the property about an hour ago, unpacked and did all the usual bits and pieces. Still got a few hours of daylight left, so I thought may as well come up to one of these main gullies and see if I can see something while the weather's still alright. We've lost about a day and a half due to new car breaking down on the way up here, unfortunately. So after a lot of dicking around, managed to swap out cars with the old man, and brought his car up for the rest of the way, so at least it gets us out of trouble and gets us up here into the bush for 2 or 3 days at least. The wind's pretty good at the moment. It's sort of coming straight down in my face, which is what I want of this gully system. Ideally I would have gone up the left side of this valley, but Mobberoos saw me from like 150 metres away and just took off up through the scrub exactly where I wanted to walk, so I had to sort of skirt around and go up on the right side of the ridge. So hopefully it can get up into the bush anyway and sit until dark and see what happens.
I reached the tree line and immediately spotted a hind browsing in the thick scrub. After trying a few more calls, I waited for about 20 minutes but couldn't hear or see anything. I wanted to check out this tree stand area, which was a bit further up the hill, but as soon as I got there, this happened. I tried doing a few more calls, but unfortunately that didn't work. I think they were onto me well before I even got there.
So first afternoon done and dusted. It's just getting a bit too dark to see through the peep sight in the gully back behind me. It actually probably looks brighter on the camera than what it is, but yeah, it's a little bit too dark, unfortunately. Got honked by a couple of different sambar. The one when I first come into the bush, and then I was making my way over to an old wallow where there's a tree stand and that, and got honked by. I got honked by one, but I think there was 2 separate animals down in the gully further. So yeah, they ended up taking off, and that was that. Tried the call again, but they weren't interested in the call, unfortunately. A couple of honks, and that was it. I'm not sure if the GoPro picked it up at all. I don't know. I saw a hare before. Had a shot at that at about 30 metres. I actually hit it. I thought I'd hit it, but I lost it. So it was a bit of a bugger, but I suppose I can't complain. Was here for about an hour or so, and then walked up into the first gully and saw a young hind, and ended up spooking and getting honked, but I'll take that for a quick arbo hunt for sambar on my birthday. Can't complain. I'll get back to camp now and then get some tea. Hopefully the weather holds out for me. It's meant to be rain the next few days. It's not bad if it's a little bit of rain, but if it's bucketing down it might be a bit different story. So I don't know, we'll see how we go and keep you posted. So first morning, got out here a little bit after 5 o'clock. It was still really dark. Just minimal use with the head torch to try and work my way in slowly. find a spot to sit, but unfortunately I haven't seen anything this morning. Very, very overcast, if you can see. It is a full moon, but yeah, with the cloud cover and that, it was really dark this morning. So I might just, it's a bit after 6, I think it's about 6:30 now. So I'm going to venture up over the ridge up over there and just sort of make my way around slowly, see if there's any, I doubt anything to be out feeding still, but you never know, it's a bit cooler. The weather leading up to this has been really stinking hot the last week or so. Had some really hot days, so I'm hoping with the cooler weather that they're a bit more active. But I don't know shit about Sambar still. I'm still learning, so we'll just take it as it comes, I guess, but got to be in it to win it. So we'll venture on up the ridge up over there and see what we can come up with. Back at the car, I didn't see anything on that little walk that I had. The cloud cover's lifted unfortunately, so it's starting to heat up, so sweating it up a lot. I saw a lot of roos out feeding and a couple of wallabies and so forth, but nothing else. Not a hell of a lot of deer sign down where I went. We've got a few options for this afternoon or the next mornings and so forth, but hopefully we get a bit more cloud cover and this sun can bugger off, because it's got a bit of a bite to it. Well, time to go back home and get some breakfast and work out our plan of attack for the Sabo. So it's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's a light drizzle at the moment. It's been raining most of the afternoon, sort of on and off. It's not a bad thing with the light drizzle. Should be alright. But I'm just going to head back behind me in some gully systems back there and just sit and wait basically. If it gets too heavy and get too wet, then I'll probably pull the pin because it's a bit of a waste of time, but we'll get out and have a crack. So heading back to the car. Only probably got another 45 minutes of light left. I know that last sort of hour of light is the golden hour, and things can happen. But the wind changed direction and was sort of sucking down the gully in the direction that I didn't want it to be. Plus the fact I was struggling to actually sit there, which is unusual for me. I was getting pretty tired and finding it hard to focus. I just kept fidgeting a bit, so that probably didn't help anything. But in saying that, I was sitting there for probably a good 2.5 hours or so, and then decided to get up and move. I was just going to walk along one of the other ridges to get a bit of a vantage point. As soon as I put my backpack on, picked up the bow, saw 2 hinds. They were about 150 metres away. I just saw the arse end of the first one, and then the second one come through, and I got the call out and tried to call, but they didn't want a bar of it, so just disappeared into the bush, and that was that. This morning I come out here, it was still dark. It had been raining on and off pretty much all night, just drizzle, so the ground is nice and soft underfoot, which is good. Very little noise, but not a thing around at all. No rabbits, no kangaroos, nothing. You can hear a few birds sort of chirping in the background, but yeah, that's about the extent of it. The valley just over behind the camera usually has kangaroos all the time. Early mornings and afternoons, it just seems to be their place, but they're not even there this morning, so yeah, it's strange. The animals clearly know something that I don't. Clearly I don't know much either. by the look of it. So yeah, it's bizarre. So just picked some fresh blackberries just for a little snack. They're starting to come out, so no doubt the deer will be into them as well at some stage. The deer have obviously been through here. There's a sign and there's some tracks coming through here. There's a bedding area just behind me, but yeah, they're obviously coming out through the night, which doesn't help my cause. I made it over where Jamie and I built the blind last time we were up, and yeah, just have a poke over in that corner and just see if there's any sign or any activity at all. And then probably yeah, call it an early morning, I think, because at the moment, I mean, I would think that it's nice conditions, still a little bit cool, bit of fog and that around, but yeah, clearly the deer have other ideas. So, you know, back to the drawing board. I don't know how we're going to go this afternoon. Decided to get out and brave the weather. It's been pretty much piss and rain the whole day. I mean, ideally I suppose this is good deer hunting weather, but yeah, that's yet to be seen. The wind's all over the shop. I mean, there's only a slight breeze, but everywhere I decide to walk it seems to be, yeah, switch around and right on my backside, so it's not doing me any favours. But anyway, put the camera away before it gets too saturated, and yeah, keep you posted. The situation hasn't improved very much at all. It's about an hour and a bit since I spoke last, and it's still, yeah, pretty shit house. Yeah, I think this afternoon, unfortunately, is a bit of a write-off. I mean, the rain itself is fine. Happy with the rain. The deer aren't going to care about the rain. It's just a matter of trying to find them in this stuff and having the wind right. That's my biggest killer at the moment, is the wind. If the wind was in my favour, then I'd have a few other options up my sleeve, and yeah, could be a different outcome. But yeah, I think I might have to pull the pin on this one, and yeah, all I'm achieving is just getting wet. The longer I stay out here, the wetter I'm getting, and it's not really helping anything. So I might head back and get some early dinner, and then see what it's like in the morning. So this is the last morning. It's actually a bit later in the morning. I slept in. It was bucketing down last night. It just didn't stop. It was pissing rain the whole night into the morning. Cloud cover's sort of still overcast, but it's a bit broken up. The sun's actually trying to bust through, but the only thing that's active at the moment is these bloody cows going nuts. I have seen wild dogs up there before as well, up in these gully systems up behind me. So yeah, we'll just play it by ear, I suppose. That's all I can do. Last morning. Just been following this big game trail through this gully behind me. If you can see. I've seen a fallow, and about 10 minutes ago there was another deer took off up in the scrub up behind me in the real thick stuff. I'm not sure if it was a sambar or a fallow. It sounded heavy and big, so I'm guessing it could be a sambar. There's more sambar up here than fallow, put it that way. So I mean, they're around, but yeah, in this thick stuff, it makes life pretty difficult. Unfortunately, with the car breakdown on the way up, I sort of lost a day and a half, which put us behind the 8 ball as far as trying to suss out yeah, where there's some active game trails and so forth. I mean, it varies from time to time when you're up here, and the time of year obviously. So yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. You just got to play your cards and hope that they fall in your favour. But yeah, unfortunately I can only be in one place at one time. So hopefully the weather holds out the Savo. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit as well, which isn't too bad. As long as it's sort of kept in a steady direction, then we might have some luck. I don't care if I even just get honked or get to see a few, but yeah, I haven't really seen too many at all at the moment, so they're definitely around, just not having any luck this trip. Last afternoon, I'm heading into one of the hides that sits off fringe country, so in theory, when the sun starts to go down, it gets a bit cooler. Just before dark, yeah, they start and come out and feed, possibly, that's the plan anyway. this afternoon the sun's been beaten down. It's been crazy hot. In the direct sun. It's had a real bite to it. So hopefully, the sun disappears behind some cloud cover and cools down a bit. So we'll get down into this hide and sit there till pretty much dark, or last shooting light anyway, and go from there. I generally don't like doing these sort of videos where I'm just talking to the camera majority of the time, but unfortunately this time hasn't been really much that I've seen to video as far as game or anything like that, so I've just sort of got to make the most of what I can. So hopefully you still enjoyed the hunt even though it hasn't been successful yet. Touch wood, so far this wind is really good. It's blowing straight up in my face, so hopefully when I get over this ridge into some of the gully systems, it'll be doing the same thing, blowing up the gully, so that'll be ideal. And I've just realised that I left my headlight and my torch back at camp, so that's handy when you plan on sitting somewhere in the bush until dark. So could be interesting walk back to camp, or back to the car at least anyway. Well, that's a wrap. Another wombat. You can see that. I've seen a couple of wombats just the last 10 minutes. I've seen a lot of wildlife tonight, but no deer unfortunately. Rabbit, fox, wombats, echidna, kangaroos and wallabies, but no deer. There was a gunshot just before, about 20 minutes ago, which was on the adjoining property. It seemed pretty close, but they obviously got the deer that I was waiting for. I'll say that anyway. Hopefully we get back sometime soon throughout the year and have another crack at these elusive sambar. I'll do my head in, but I'll get another one one day.